ambitions. It was inconceivable, however, to imagine slim young Clemency ever growing to look like her big-bosomed mother, even though the arrogant confidence was already apparent. Clemency's green eyes, not yet protuberant and faded as were her mother's, could on occasion hold the same hard stare, the same will to be obeyed. Hetty knew that well enough. But she also knew Clemency's youthful butterfly gaiety, her willfulness, which had a certain charm, her supreme selfishness, contradicted every now and then by some spontaneous act of generosity, her continuing love of schoolgirl pranks, accompanied by paroxysms of giggles, and her quite unscrupulous flirtatiousness. Clemency Jervis, 21 years old and a spoiled only child, had enough character and determination to succeed in her new life. She would not be meek and scared and incompetent in her role as mistress of an English great house. The title would not come amiss with her either. She had a cool, practical streak, unusual in one so young. She was ambitious, above all. Of course she would like to be loved, and to be in love. But position was far more important. The love could follow, in one way or another. She was longing to wear the long white gown with a train and her sparkling little tiara and curtsy to the Queen of England, which all slightly shocked Hetty, for she realized that Clemency was not yet in love with her English fiancé, Lord Hazzard of Loburn in the Cotswolds. Of course, she had seen him only briefly on his visit to New York last summer, a visit he had had to curtail when the European War broke out, and he had to hasten home to rejoin his regiment. His proposal had been made, perhaps earlier than he had intended, for he, too, Hetty had suspected, had not been entirely guided by love. Indeed, the thought of Clemency's dowry had probably been paramount in his mind. He was willing to give a pretty American girl a title, which naturally she would adore, a wedding in St. Margaret's, Westminster, and the chance to show off a wantonly expensive trousseau to London society, in return for a plump injection into his bank account. Hetty knew that if she were in Clemency's place, she would not be thinking only of clothes and jewelry and being presented to the Queen and becoming mistress of a famous old house. She would be thinking of the man whom she was to stand beside in church and lie in bed with afterwards. And although she had been given little chance to observe Lord Hazzard, she had known that she found his blonde good looks and his dazzling blue gaze very exciting. He had not, of course, noticed her. In her neat white cap and apron, she was part of the background furniture. She was Harriet Brown, a lady's maid, and Clemency, who was not always too possessive of her suitors, was very jealous of this aristocratic one. Clemency's grandfather had made some millions in various ways, which could have been honest or dishonest, but which must have required skill and cool nerves. Perhaps Clemency, in the matrimonial stakes, had inherited his instinct for a profitable deal. She and Lord Hazzard, no doubt, would suit each other very well. The outbreak of war had been both a disaster and a blessing. Even Mrs. Jervis doubted if Lord Hazzard would have made such a speedy proposal if events had not precipitated him into a decision. There had been sundry hurried meetings with her brother, Jonas Middleton, in Wall Street, consultations with lawyers, and a long private interview with Mrs. Jervis. Then the intended marriage of Miss Clemency Millicent Jervis, only child of Mrs. Millicent Jervis and the late Howard B. Jervis, Wall Street financier, to Major Lord Hazzard of the Coldstream Guards and of Loburn near Cirencester, England, was announced. Lord Hazzard had pressed for an early date. He was going home to go to war. He wants an heir, Hetty said. Of course, Clemency agreed. I think that's more important to him than having a bride. It always is with the English aristocracy. I'm not dumb, Brown. You don't love him, Miss Clemency? Oh, yes, I do. Clemency sighed and